Over the past 2 years, I've travelled across 6 countries asking one big question. How are dairy farmers adapting to a changing climate, and what can we learn here in the UK? The UK dairy sector is set to undergo increasing pressure from a changing climate, from hotter summers and erratic rainfall to longer dry spells and storm events. This is a phenomenon that we need to understand better in the sector and start incorporating into our decision making today. I'm a Nuffield scholar, and from 50-degree heat in the Mexican desert to misty Irish pastures, this journey has taken me right to the heart of what resilience looks like. Not in theory, but on real farms, run by real people under real pressure. This project took me to India, Mexico, the US, Ireland and Brazil to understand how dairy farmers are responding to climate shocks and what lessons we could bring home to the UK. What I found was that resilience isn't about one silver bullet. It's about smart decisions, trialling what works on your specific farm, and sometimes unnecessarily complete system overhauls. Farmers were adapting in 3 key ways: through how they manage their herds, their land, and their infrastructure. On herd management, I saw farmers choosing breeds with native genetics for heat tolerance, changing calving patterns, using smart collars to catch problems early, all before they had an effect on milk production. On land, it was about water and keeping it in the soil with compost, shade and mulch, and switching between foragers. Some had stopped using foragers altogether because it just wasn't reliable. Infrastructure, shade was key, fans, misters, keeping the cows cool. But the most powerful stories were those where the farmer had gone through a full mindset shift, often after a breaking point. Will Harris in the US rebuilt his entire farm around regenerative grazing. Professor Solorio in Mexico turned rocky, degraded land into thriving silver pasture systems, which now feed 40 families. David Kerr in Ireland cut cow numbers after a drought and gained resilience and space for biodiversity. The penny dropped when I realised resilience is not just about understanding what adaptation practices you can apply to dairy farms, but it's the leadership and the mindset of resilience and the risk adversity. Here in the UK, we've got access to brilliant research, innovation and knowledge sharing, but we're still not talking about resilience enough, especially with the climate already changing around us. This project has shown me that resilience is not a buzzword, it's a mindset. It's not about fixing everything overnight. It's about making the right decisions at the right time and learning from those already living through the changes we're only just beginning to feel. The future of dairy won't look like the past, but it can still be productive, profitable and sustainable if we plan for it now. Now's the time to do it. This isn't about fear-mongering and creating more stress for the industry. It's about planning ahead and leapfrogging the breaking points that many of the farmers I spoke to have experienced. I'll be constantly working to bring this to the forefront of our sector, and I can't wait to share with you what we achieve. I want to thank the Nuffield Farming Scholarships Trust for giving me the opportunity to explore this topic so deeply, and AHDB for generously sponsoring me. A huge thanks as well to Promar International for believing in this vision and supporting my journey throughout. Thanks everybody.